Hello and welcome to my channel, She's Just Trying. So today we're going to be covering r/I don't work here lady. It's one of my favorite subreddits, and without further ado, let's get straight into the video. I don't work here lady success by u/blowpink. I usually try to avoid employees at grocery stores. They're busy with their jobs and whatever my needs are can wait. If I can't find something, I'll search the entire store before I dare ask someone where something is. Or peek around at others' carts and ask them kindly, "Oh, where'd you find that?" People are usually willing to help if it doesn't inconvenience them. This day, my mother sent me to the store to get some steaks. Nothing else, as she had already been shopping that week, but she wasn't happy with the steak selection at the store. Steaks are an unknown world to me. I don't know what I'm looking for. If I got the wrong one for my mother, I knew I'd be hearing it for weeks. Looking at this wall of meat was overwhelming, so I see a couple of people, 30s, picking out a few steaks. I kindly asked them, "Sorry, I know you don't work here. Do you know anything about steak? I'm supposed to pick up some for my family, but I don't know what I'm looking for." The husband rolled his eyes and laughed and said, "Ask her." The wife busted out laughing, saying, "I'm actually a chef downtown. Of course I can help you." Y'all, I learned so much about steaks in the 5 minutes we talked. She asked me how I plan to cook it. On the grill. How many people I'm feeding? 3. Do I plan to marinate it? Yes. For how long? Up to an hour. She picked out the best cuts of NY strip for me, took it down to the spice aisle and told me how to make a marinade, how high to set the grill, how to time it perfectly, told me how to rotate it at 45 degrees twice, once on each side. I went home and made the best steak dinner for my family. They were so impressed. Now I'm in charge of grilling steaks for the family occasions like Easter, Memorial Day, Dad's birthday, and so on. Thank you so much to the kind lady who didn't work there. You have no idea how much your attention impacted my life that day. I am forever grateful. So yeah, this story was really cute. It's amazing how you found a chef and like the shop that was able to help you out in that situation. I don't really know much about the steak. I love how it tastes and I love how it's marinated, and if I get to make it then I'm able to make it, but I don't know how like cuts are or how like discern about which cuts are the best, but I should read up on that. But yeah, I'm glad you were able to get a great ending for the I don't work here and nobody was getting angry at you or you getting angry at anyone. So yeah, on to the next post. Karen needs her very own checkout lane by u/Michelle Bites. This happened several years ago. I was shopping at Garden Ridge, which sold household items, decor items, gifts, and craft supplies. It was a huge store with 2 entrances and 2 sets of checkout lanes, 1 set at each entrance. I was casually shopping when a round woman in her 50s or 60s got right in front of my cart. She glared at me, and I tried to go around her, but she stopped me again, saying, "You're going to help me or not?" I said, "What?" "I need a register open so I can check out." I looked at her astounded. I said, "I don't work here, but there are registers open at the other entrance." To which she replied, "I don't want to walk to those registers. Now open one and check me out." I looked at her in the eye and I said sternly, "I don't work here." She threw her hands up in the air and started to walk away. As she was walking away, she turned and yelled at me, "This isn't over." I ignored her. I grabbed the last couple of items I needed and headed to the registers. I noticed the line was not moving, and I could hear the awful woman's voice. She was arguing with the cashier. The cashier called a manager. Other people waited in line, were getting impatient, and it was showing. The manager arrived and instructed the cashier to open another register so that the rest of us could check out. "How come you open a register for me but not them?" the awful woman yelled at the manager. He replied, "Ma'am, you are not at an open register. How can I help you?" "I wanted a register open at the other door and one of your workers refused to do it." She kept babbling nonsense. I raised my hand and got the manager's attention. The awful woman looked over at me at the same time as the manager did. "It was her. She wouldn't open a register for me. Then she lied and said she didn't even work here," shouted the awful woman. "Ma'am, she doesn't work here," the manager said. Are you going to help me or not? She yelled. I'm trying to help you, ma'am, but you haven't asked for something I can help you with. If you want to check out, then I'll check you out. The awful woman huffed and puffed and started angrily putting her items on the counter. It was nearly done paying for my items at the other checkout lane when she was done paying for hers. The manager handed her the receipt and told her to have a nice day. As the awful woman was walking towards the door, she paused and shouted, I guess customer service is dead here. The manager shouted back, Ma'am, you can call corporate and get out of your system. We are not allowed to disrespect me and my staff. Oh, I'm definitely calling corporate, and I'm telling them everything that's happened today, she yelled. I was walking past her and said to her, I'm sure that'll be rich. Tell them you need to have your own personal checkout lane when you're at it. She looked at me, red in the face and shaking, and yelled, I plan on it, then took off following the sidewalk around the building. As I walked to my car, I was still in shock that someone could be so awful. So when I first saw the title for this story, I thought it was going to be a joke about how fat she is so that she couldn't fit in between the two lines of the checkout lane, because OP goes and says that she's a round woman in her 50s or 60s. So I was really uncomfortable to talk about it, like to read it at first, but I still hate the story. I don't hate the story, I hate the Karen in the story. She's just so annoying. Like, throughout the whole thing, she's just constantly so ignorant to how awful of a woman she is. Like, the manager is talking to her, asking her to tell the manager what she wants, and she's still busy rambling on about what she didn't get. So the manager literally have to tell her that you haven't told me what you want, so then I can help you if you do. But at least OP got the last word, like the last laugh in that situation. So yeah, at least that's a good thing that came out of it. A light-hearted misunderstanding story, if that's alright. I know some of us like the happy ones too. By / I live around the block. It still blows my mind how many stories have people grabbing them or even inappropriately tapping them to get their attention. Even if they did work there, it's not okay. Don't touch strangers. But it reminded me of this old story of mine. I was at a big chain hardware store with my mom and stepdad, and a store worker in company vest was helping us. Let's call the worker Paul, and he was crouched down looking at some items lower down, answering my mom and dad's questions to choose what was best. I was a young adult and we were all shopping, but this was for their project, so I was hanging back. Along comes a woman with a boy, about 8 or 9 years old. She happens to be looking for something right near us and has a boy by hand. He is clearly on the spectrum or something, with a dreamy, unfocused look, but he is just as quiet and going along with his mom. As she is shopping, the boy is right next to Paul, but Paul is turned away from my parents. Paul is wearing a long-sleeved light fleece under his shirt, and the boy starts to stroke Paul's arms, staring off into space. I see all this happening, but I don't know if I should say something or even what to say. Then Paul realizes someone is stroking his arm. He understandably, a little alarmed, jumps back, turning towards the boy and the mom. Then the mom realizes what happens. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry," while gently pulling the boy back. By now, I'm just laughing. I did see at least, he likes his shirt. And I was laughing at the cuteness of the situation, not the misunderstanding. I did get to explain more to Paul, but unfortunately, Mom was embarrassed and hurried off. I still hope it sunk in to her later that this was all okay and quite cute. Yeah, so this last story was really cute. The boy didn't know what he was doing. Sometimes you do stuff that you don't understand that you're doing. And his reaction was valid. I'm glad that he didn't start going off at the boy and start shouting at the boy. But I hope the mom doesn't feel too embarrassed about what's happened. I hope that she didn't feel like she had caused any trouble. And yeah, I hope your mom and dad finished the project that they were working on. I hope that you're okay. Yeah, so that's it. And that's the end of the video. If you like what you saw, make sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more of my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for future updates. Sharing my videos and watching them and just putting down comments really helps my channel grow, and it will help me do lots of different things with the channel. We recently hit 50 subscribers, which is really great. It's more than I thought I would ever get in like 5 days, so it'll be great to get way more. So thanks for watching. Bye.